Which state has the best high school wrestling? We have the answers here for you. And number one is gonna surprise you.
We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
We have compiled the past 4 to 5 years of all the major high school tournaments, and we have some rankings. So Mike L, he kind of spearheaded this research. So take it away and show us what you've done.
Awesome. So unfortunately, COVID messed it up. The plan was a 4-year typical high school or Olympic cycle. But obviously 2020, Fargo was canceled. For those of you guys that may or may not know, there was no Fargo in the 2020 year. So it went 2019, 2021, 22, and now most recently 23. So it's a 5-year span, but it's for the 4 years of high school and now guys with the red shirt in college. So what I did is I took all the results and all the teams are ranked. If a team took first, let's say they won 2019 junior freestyle, they would receive 50 points for 50 states. And it would work down like that. So as you can see at the bottom here, Illinois was a champion, 50 points for the 2019 junior freestyle at Fargo. So we worked all styles across 2019 junior freestyle, junior Greco, junior girls, 16U, 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 all the years compiled to the end, and we did a total. So two interesting things came of this. One, Mississippi and Vermont in the past 5 years have sent no one. So if you're a fan and you're from Mississippi or Vermont, try to get to Fargo. This also shows that Fargo you have to qualify for, and a lot of people don't necessarily know that. They think you could just show up. That's not the case. States are only allotted a certain amount of slots per weight. So you can't just be like, hey, I want to go to Fargo. I've had a great JV season and I'm trying to hit some big tournaments and I want to go. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. So it could be that maybe Mississippi and Vermont just haven't been able to qualify someone. Not
What are the qualifying tournaments?
So for Connecticut, we do the Phil Port it's like Phil Portuguese something in Pennsylvania. It's regional qualifying.
Just attending, or do you have to place?
You have to place.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and it could be that, they got knocked off by someone else. I don't know how every state qualifies. I can only speak for Connecticut.
Yeah.
And then some states like Pennsylvania are actually fighting for more slots. They want a push for, I think they said 6 to 8, because they have really, really good wrestlers that are only hitting as a 5th slot. And they're like, dang, like this guy would really help us. But unfortunately, we only can send 4, and our 4 are really good. The other thing that came of this is I was surprised what the top team was. So I don't know about you guys out there or Mike or Jack, but typically when I think top wrestling on the East Coast, I think Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. West Coast, I think California. Midwest, I think, Illinois is always huge at Fargo. Wisconsin.
Ohio too.
Ohio, Iowa, like the typical big states. And it was just going to say, which state is the best? And it's been a debate in wrestling for a long time. It's, well, we're from so-and-so, and that's the best state in America, baby. And that's all we do over here is wrestling. And I love the debate. I love the topic, but I love to see what the data actually says. So without further ado, we will scroll to the end and we will hide a bunch of categories for now. And then we also have it broken down by other styles as well, really getting into the nitty-gritty of the data. So, in last place, Minnesota, Vermont.
No, Mississippi. Mississippi.
No,
Don't be disrespecting Minnesota.
Minnesota actually did pretty well, yeah. So Mississippi and Vermont have never sent anyone. New Hampshire, in the past 5 years, has scored 51 points among all styles.
So, and that's barely better than Vermont, and Vermont doesn't send anyone.
Yeah, and it's only 1 point better than some of these teams got in 1 year from one style.
Wow.
Brutal.
Delaware, Louisiana, Maine, Rhode Island, Wyoming. I was surprised. I thought Wyoming would be a little bit higher up there considering they have a pretty solid D1 program.
Yeah, but the population in Wyoming is like 400,000 people.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
West Virginia, New Mexico.
Oh, North Carolina's pretty low.
Yeah, low, right? Arkansas, North Carolina, Hawaii. I was surprised Hawaii was as high as they were. Kentucky, Massachusetts, getting into the New England states. So this, if you're a New England wrestler out there, this will be a fun little bragging point for you, or maybe it won't be. We'll see what happens. South Carolina, Alabama, North Dakota. I thought North Dakota was going to be higher. It's literally Fargo area. Um, South Dakota, Alaska. You never really hear about wrestlers from Alaska.
There's always
Montana.
one. When you go to camp, there's always like one kid from Alaska
Yeah,
there.
that's like NHSCA too, where you're like, oh, who's here on Team Alaska? And it's like two guys.
Yeah.
Montana, Connecticut. I was happy to see Connecticut so high.
Well, that's the best New England state.
Yeah, number one.
I have to think
Yeah.
that the girls
The
carried that
girls do
performance.
offset that, and we'll get into it in a little bit. They offset it a lot, which helps. Um, Nevada, Virginia, Kansas, Oregon, Tennessee, Utah, Maryland. So
Nebraska's middle of the pack.
Maryland is a state that I always kind of forget about as wrestling until you realize Kyle Snyder and Aaron Brooks are both from that state. So,
Well, and
pretty
Maryland
big.
U.
Yeah.
Big
They're
two.
not as, yeah, they're a Big Ten school, but they do have their their woes a little bit. Nebraska, Texas, with Texas being as big of a state as it is, it's great to see they're finally investing into wrestling because for years it was hard pressed to find a Texan wrestler.
Yeah, it's a football state. There should be some more transition there.
Oh yeah, Arizona, New Jersey. This was a big surprise to me that New Jersey was
Wow,
so
yeah,
high.
New Jersey's pretty low.
They were way down in the pack, in my opinion.
And so's New York.
That's what I'm saying. New York, I was like, oh, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, like the three best states ever. East Coast
Yeah.
bias, but
Yeah.
Georgia,
Yeah, that's
Idaho,
surprising.
Indiana, Washington, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that
Wrestling's
makes
big
sense.
there. Michigan, okay, some of these make sense. Colorado, Florida threw me through a loop because I'm like, Florida. I was like, yeah, they're a big state, but I don't really think of Florida, Texas. I mean, Florida states as a huge, ordeal.
Well, they had Brandon, Florida, which had that incredible streak a few years ago. And there's always a couple good wrestlers from Brandon, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I could see that.
Ohio, Missouri, Montana, and now
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Twice
Minnesota.
disrespect on
What?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I keep doing. I had that issue too when I was writing it. When I kept doing this, I kept having to switch them back and forth because I was some late nights working on this. Minnesota, Iowa.
So I was in top five.
Iowa's top five. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, edged out by 4 points by California, and then the best Fargo state in the last 5 years, Illinois. And who wrestled for Illinois? Anthony Cassiope.
Oh.
He was a Team Illinois guy. He won multiple Fargo titles in both styles.
Well, now you start
Oh,
seeing
you
these,
really missed out on snagging him over Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
well, now you start seeing Cassiope's younger siblings.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably racking up points
Lots
for
of
Illinois
points,
too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
So-
shocked. I would have never guessed Illinois. I don't even know if I'd put Illinois in the top 10.
I knew Illinois was good at Fargo because I've followed the numbers for a little bit, but I didn't think they'd be as high as they were.
Right.
The best state in America for girls wrestling is California, baby. It's the Golden Coast.
Okay.
It's worth noting that Pennsylvania has only recently made women's wrestling a sanctioned sport. So a lot of people are predicting them to go way up. And this year, 50 points, they actually won the girls 16U division.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh yeah. We can go through all of it or, just take a quick look. I mean, it's going to be a lot.
Connecticut's not too bad.
No, like we said, Connecticut gets carried by the girls a lot, but this has actually been a down year for us. I mean, especially in our
Yeah,
junior
there's a few years there where they're like 21, 18, 29. Like those are lower,
But California has pretty good dominance. It's great to see women's wrestling is on the come up.
Yeah.
Again, I was surprised to see New Jersey behind Connecticut. I think there's probably a good correlation between states that have women's wrestling sanctioned and states that don't, and the success that both of them see.
Well, also think about the Division I wrestling schools. you have Iowa, you have Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it, right?
No,
Right
there's
now?
a third one.
I think there's a third recently.
Oh, I forget.
One of those smaller schools, right? Like Bellarmine or something.
It was the first
Yeah.
one.
So looking at it even more broken down, you see California is up there still, best girls state, but they're right behind. They're being chased really quick by who is MO? Who remembers?
Missouri.
Missouri. Not the typical state you'd expect for women's wrestling. Which again, I love a good
Yeah, I wouldn't
surprise
have
in
picked,
this.
yeah, Missouri.
And they're right behind California. And California, in the past few years, for 16U at least, championship, third, fifth. I mean, these guys are right behind them, which is again surprising because you don't think Missouri is a typical hotbed for women's wrestling.
Well, I looked it up. Presbyterian
Presbyterian.
and Lindenwood, I guess, is moving to Division One.
And so now, looking at the junior girls, still California takes the lead. Again, 2 titles back-to-back years, second place in the other 2 years. So they're right there, almost at a perfect score of 200. But right behind them is Illinois.
I wonder if they're kind of benefiting just by having more sent to the tournament.
Like the sheer size of the state.
Yeah, just like by
volume of
attrition,
girls
like
competing.
right.
Mhm.
But
It's a
like
good
you said,
question.
I mean, you still have to qualify to go.
Yeah. And again, Pennsylvania right up there just shows they're, top state still. New York, not too bad. And then again, I don't think New Jersey sanctioned wrestling yet. Connecticut again, right in front of New
Top
Jersey.
25.
Yep. And again, right in front of New Jersey, which blew my mind because I've always held New Jersey as such a high standard. There's some really incredible wrestlers that come from there.
Yeah. People from Jersey who talk about, oh yeah, we wrestle. They're like the toughest. Yeah.
So I know
Those are only folk style wrestlers. They don't like going.
Yeah, they don't go to Fargo.
We got a folk style video
freestyle Greco.
soonish. We'll have the right now we're working on the Super 32 data, and after Super 32 this year, we'll say what the best folk style state is. And
there you go.
I'll be honest, right now it's not a surprise.
Illinois, just like this video.
Yeah.
So I know that we don't always give Greco as much love. I think it's a great style for coaching, but I think it does have not a great transition to college, unfortunately. And on the international stage, we really don't see how good we are at Greco, which makes it tough for the average fan to follow. No surprise, the best Greco state was Illinois. This is where I think
too.
Yeah, this is where I think a lot of teams got carried is on their overall. Bless you. So champion year. Worst year was 2021 at 16U. Most of the time they win it though. I mean, they have 1,
that's
2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8.
5 out of 8.
Pretty good. That's Greco kind of lives there. Iowa, another big Greco state. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, California, the typical kind of top 5 you'd expect in an order. Again, some of these states, I was surprised where they were.
Wow.
Alaska was one that stuck out to me, that Alaska was ahead of Nevada, Texas, North Dakota, Alabama, Kentucky, New Mexico, and Connecticut, which hurt personally, Connecticut.
Connecticut's so low.
I mean, I don't know too many Greco guys.
That's it. How many Greco guys do you really know?
Yeah, Connecticut, yeah.
Looking at it, breaking it down a little bit more, Pennsylvania is actually the best 16U Greco state. Which I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and Illinois is not even number 2. Oh, they're tied for number 2. Okay.
Yeah, they're tied. And again, and they're bookend by 2 team titles in 2019 and 2023. So they're right there still. But I was surprised to see Pennsylvania was, taking the top slot here for 16U. For junior Greco, Illinois reclaimed its throne. Iowa, Wisconsin, Colorado.
Players.
Yeah, a lot of the same players, but then you have Pennsylvania way down at number 9.
The biggest takeaway I'm getting from this is, why isn't Illinois University better?
That's exactly it. So where are all these guys going?
Clearly, they're not going to Illinois U.
Um,
Like,
so it gets tough, but now we'll get into the actual freestyle event. Everyone's favorite men's freestyle. So the best, let me just hide these quick. This is looking at all girls and guys for freestyle, but just exclusively freestyle. The best state, what do you guys think it is?
Illinois.
What about you, Jack?
Pennsylvania.
California.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We got 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 though. But look, I mean, and it's a pretty close top 3 before it drops off hard for number 4.
Oh, yeah, that's 50 points down.
I mean, these guys are always racing for team titles. California, Pennsylvania, Illinois, always in that mix. When it comes to Fargo freestyle, those are the 3 guys. I mean, it's like drawing a Team USA guy for the Olympics. You're like, dang, it's going to be a tough day for me.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at this. You have Pennsylvania, which has Penn State, Illinois, University of Illinois, Missouri, Big Ten, or no, they're not Big Ten, but they're a top school. Wisconsin,
Mizzou,
Big
yeah.
Ten, Ohio State's Big Ten, Minnesota,
Iowa,
Iowa's Big
Michigan.
Ten, Michigan's Big Ten, Indiana's Big Ten. Yeah, so it's no wonder
It's
that
just California that's not.
Yeah, well, that's California being such a
and
large
Mizzou.
state, they don't have the big one. Well, Mizzou is again another top program.
They're basically Big Ten. I mean, Big 12 is on par with
Honorary Big Ten team.
Honorary Big Ten.
And again, New York edges out New Jersey. These New Jersey guys got to get it together, man. I don't know what's up with their Fargo this year.
Maybe they used to be one of the top states, but now they've got
Jordan Burroughs just carrying them.
Yeah. And then again, just point of pride, I believe
top 25.
Connecticut is the best New England state, again, when it comes to freestyle.
That's good to see.
Looking at
all victories.
16U now. Who is the best? Oh, it's Pennsylvania. What is that? A perfect team score in the last 5 years.
Whoa.
When Pennsylvania shows up with 16U, they win.
Dang.
Plain and simple.
I think this is probably what a lot of the viewers were expecting clicking on this video. It's starting to come together a little bit, but it's nice to see the holistic approach.
And Illinois is sliding to 4th.
Yeah, so Illinois a little bit low here. But again, what do you see? Typical top 10, Big 10 teams. Yeah. Penn State, Ohio State, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin. I mean, it's no wonder these teams do so well when they can recruit from their own state.
New Jersey. They're up there.
Yeah, well, that's for 16U. Yeah, they're pretty solid.
They found their way.
But it's crazy that they fall off so hard elsewhere in the overall freestyle, scene.
Yeah.
Now, the last but not least, junior freestyle. Let's just sort this one more time. And again, who wins it? Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So Pennsylvania, pretty close to Iowa. Illinois again.
I'm baffled that Illinois is not better as the college.
Well, this is freestyle and Greco and girls all combined.
Yeah, but still, where are these good wrestlers?
This is junior.
That they're not snatching them up.
This is just junior freestyle. This is just men's. And 16U is just men's. So, Illinois is top for these girls or boys, and they're still just, they have a hard time keeping the talent in state. And we've seen it again. Tony Cassiope was this huge recruit,
That's
multi-time Fargo champ in both styles. And he's like, heck yeah, I'm going to Iowa.
Heck yeah.
And it's it's the wrong state that begins with an I, man.
I think when Imar was at Illinois, he was kind of one of an attraction. Like a lot of people were drawing their eyes to Illinois, and ever since he left, I don't know if they've really had a big name. I think he might have been their last national champ.
You got the Bronigal brothers.
Yeah, but they're not really title contenders for the most part.
That's true.
But yeah, crazy looking at the data. Like I said, I was surprised that the best state is Illinois. But they're really close behind Pennsylvania and California. They're right there. And then again, big drop off for Wisconsin. It's really a 3-team race, and Illinois has got a pretty comfortable lead right now.
Yeah, that's
So,
Illinois. You got to get your recruiting on.
yeah, they got to be able to recruit from in the state. That's
Yeah,
it.
you got to get your recruiting on in state.
I mean, some
So,
people just maybe they just want to go to the high ticket names, especially with NIL. I
yep.
think that's, but you still think a Big Ten school has some ability
Right.
to
Yeah,
offer some deals.
exactly. I would hope. Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully, we see a resurgence from the Illini in the next few years
And
for at least college wrestling.
yeah, I agree. I hope we continue to see Connecticut dominating New England.
And for you New Jersey fans, come on, man, get it together.
Yeah, you're losing to
What about the teams?
Idaho.
Yeah, Georgia's in front of you, man.
Georgia has wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. That not only do they have wrestling, they have better
That's
wrestling than
good.
New
Like,
York
yeah,
and New Jersey.
that's like
Georgia,
pretty good wrestling. Like,
there's no Division I programs in Georgia,
yeah, no, I know.
Idaho,
It's like,
in Florida, in
where are all these
Washington.
Georgia wrestlers going?
I don't
NC
know.
State, I think, has a lot.
That could be.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that definitely could be.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because North and South Carolina are probably the closest Division I programs they got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, at least in the college scene, North Carolina is definitely a growing state with
Well, yeah, you got Duke,
NC
App
State,
State,
App State,
and
UNC,
UNC. Yeah.
Campbell.
So yeah, it's like you got a plenty of options. But,
So, I mean, what do you guys think? Drop a comment down below. You Illinois viewers out there, congratulations! Way to go! Keep it up, and maybe maybe put some feelers out for Illinois University when you're looking at the recruiting process. We're doing a little recruiting effort there for you on your behalf. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Let us know your comments down below, and we'll look forward to our next video in this series where we take a look at folk style results.
Oh yeah, and keep tuned for more Fargo news. We're going to be talking about some crazy results and maybe some more sibling stuff.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.